Hey you, yeah, hey you. Do you have habits that are sabotaging your weight loss? Because I guarantee you do. Hey guys, I'm Holly and I make videos about weight loss and mindset and how you can change yours to improve your life. Is your main goal to lose weight? I'm gonna guess that's probably true, otherwise why would you have clicked on this video? I want to talk to you guys about how habits are destroying your life, especially when it comes to weight loss, and what you can do to be victorious in the weight loss sector. Hear me out on what I have to say. I have a weight loss program that I use to help people to lose weight by changing their mind. There's, of course, an exercise and a food component to it, but those are the minor things in the grand schemes. One of the things that I like to teach is about habits. And if you follow me over on Instagram, I share daily stories and weekly reels about how you can do these things so that you could be successful in your weight loss journey. So go ahead and follow me over there. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and look out for more videos in the future on why habits are so important and how you can use them on your weight loss journey. So I recently made a list. It's kind of a long list. These are the habits that got me to where I am. So far, I'm on my 4 months of my journey, just a little over 4 months. I've lost about 40 pounds. I am moving forward. I'm going places. I'm changing my life for the better. Things are looking up for me. We can always improve in our day-to-day. There's always something that we can do to improve ourselves. We have to be lifelong learners. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's a master. I truly believe that nobody is a master of anything. We're always a student of everything. So I'm going to read you guys some of the habits that got me to where I am before I started to lose the weight. Eating more and not eating very well when going out to eat. Cutting out walks on days that I'm tired and think that I deserve a break. I think we've all kind of been there. You get home late from work, you think, oh my God, I've done so much today. I can't get that hour walk in. What am I gonna do? And I've been guilty of this too. It's the minor cutting of corners. And it's a slippery slope. It starts out as something small like this and it just goes on. Eating little pieces of candy and not logging it in my food diary. Just got out of Christmas and the New Year. You know, it's obvious that I'm losing weight. People still, gave me candy and things like that I shouldn't be eating, fudge, whatever, etc. Thought, I don't really have a problem with sweets. I might have it here and there. I'll just put it in the cupboard. A lot of that stuff was in my line of sight. And so, when I get a feeling that, oh, I need something to help make me feel good. That tiny squirt of dopamine, I would reach for one of those little things. And granted, I wouldn't binge on it. I wouldn't eat a whole lot of it, but I also wouldn't log it. And that's, like I said before, that's detrimental. That goes down the slippery slope. So we need to be careful with those things. Also, getting lax on weighing my food. I would just assume, I've done this so many times before. I know what, a quarter cup of vegan cheese looks like, or I know what a half a cup of almond milk looks like, or whatever it is. I know what a 300-gram potato looks like. I'll be okay this one time because I know, I'm the expert, I know. We're not experts. We can be completely off. There's been so many studies done that people are completely off on the calories of something. Usually they're way under on what something is. And again, that's a slippery slope. So I had to catch myself on that one. The next one kind of ties into the not logging the candy, not logging everything that I ate. Sometimes I'd pop something in my mouth and be like, it's fine, it's no big deal, it's minimal. This stuff adds up. One thing I can say that I did take from Weight Watchers, which if you haven't seen my video on why weight loss is a scam, I'll link it up here. I hate Weight Watchers. I think it's a terrible program, but one thing that I did learn from them was something called BLTs, or bites, licks, tastes, and the act of trying those little things, a nibble of something here and there, a spoonful of this, a bite of that, what have you, and not logging it. It's very important to log those things because over time the calories do add up. So make sure you're logging it. The next thing is less movement overall. Again, this goes back to work, and can't use work as an excuse. Work gets tough. It can be mentally challenging. It can be tiring in the physical sense. I myself, I get up at 4:30. I have about a 40-minute drive to work. I get off work around 2 p.m. on a good day. A lot of the times I'm there till 3 or 4, sometimes 5 o'clock. And yeah, I'm mentally tired. I'm physically tired. I don't want to move around. I don't want to do my walk. That small voice in the back of your head says, oh, it's okay. You've done so much today. You don't need to move. You don't need to go on your walk. You don't have to get up and move around, every hour or so at work. Wrong thinking, totally wrong thinking. And that's a habit that I'm working hard to change. Another thing that kind of goes back to feelings is, I don't want to say binge eating, but just putting the wrong things in your mouth just to get that tiny hit of dopamine that we're looking for. Eating the wrong thing and eating them sometimes in abundance, that can really stall your weight loss. And not logging those things, again, it all goes back to logging it, right? It's such a simple act. It's not always easy, but it's such a simple concept. Just to write something down, put it in an app, just being mindful of it is massive. The next thing on my list is giving into my inner child, liken it to that voice in the back of our heads that tells us, it's okay, have that piece of candy, have those couple of chips, don't go on your walk, don't get up and do this, just take it easy. Today you've done so much in other areas, work, etc. It's okay, just let off the pedal a little bit. And I'm definitely been guilty of this. I think everybody is at some point, and that's definitely something that I want to nip in the bud immediately. So my question to you is this: what habits have you formed? And I highly recommend getting a journal, a piece of paper, the notes app in your iPhone, whatever, and just write down, what are the habits that got me to where I am with weight gain? Because let's face it, weight gain does not happen overnight. It's not something that you make a plan for. It's not something that you have goals and aspirations for. It just creeps up on us all of a sudden. It could be from months to years to decades of doing the same habits over and over and over again. My first homework step to you is to get out a journal or a piece of paper and just write those habits down. Just have a think, give yourself 10 minutes. That's really all it took for me was, what are the things that I'm doing that are limiting my success? So go ahead and do that, pause the video and come back and we'll look at your list. The next step, after being completely honest with yourself and getting it all out onto paper, believe me, this is such a powerful step. Please don't skip this. It's, like I said, it takes you 5-10 minutes max to do this. So once you have those habits, the next part I want you to do is, like I have on here, is how to change these for the better. So I have my bad habits at the top, and you can do this next to it. My journal's just a little bit smaller, but you could do it next to those items. I have a list of how to change these for the better. So how can I change my own habits for the better? And maybe these will help some of you, because these are pretty big top ones, I would say. Make better calorie choices when eating out. If you know you're going to be eating out, look up that restaurant ahead. Look at what they have. 9 times out of 10, a restaurant's going to have the calories listed on there. And I also highly recommend doing this too, because they may be inaccurate, is to go into MyFitnessPal or Chronometer or one of those calorie logging apps and look up the foods individually. If you're having a salad with chicken on it or tofu or whatever, 4 cups of greens, however many ounces of chicken you think are on there. Yes, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be accurate, but I like to think that we're probably not eating out every day. I myself am not. I only eat out when I go out with 1 or 2 of my friends, my guy, and we tend to not eat out very often. It's just not something we do very much. It's not something that I prefer to do. I actually really enjoy cooking, and I know that that's kind of an unsung thing, and a lot of people disagree with me on that, but just getting a general idea, because again, we're not eating out every single day. We're trying not to go crazy. So logging it and finding the lower calorie choices, it's pretty obvious what they are. Not having the lasagna, maybe having a salad that's not covered in oil, the chicken breast with broccoli, and not having the steak with the baked potato or whatever. The next way I'm going to change my bad habits for the better is I'm going to walk every single day. It doesn't matter if I get home at 5 or 6 p.m. Just getting going is what matters. And I always find that if I get going, it becomes a lot easier to keep going. Just starting something is the most powerful thing. And you tend to usually just keep going because you don't want to lose that momentum. And it's usually not as hard as you think. It's the getting going that's the hardest bit. So just get going. The next thing is, and I'm big with this, is environment. So instead of having those things in my fridge or my freezer or my cupboard, I just got rid of them. This morning I went through the house, everything that I thought, is this going to bring me closer or further to my goals, which is an excellent question to ask yourself. Get rid of those things. They're not going to bring you closer to your goals. Is fudge and cookies and candy is going to bring me closer to my goal? Absolutely not. It gives you that small squirt of dopamine. It lasts for a couple of minutes, if that, and that's it. So it's not worth it. Everything's gone, so I don't have the temptation there, and it's less fatigue on my mind because I'm not white knuckling it thinking, oh my God, I want to have that so bad. I need it, I need it, I need it. Oh, no, you can't have it, you can't have it, you can't have it. Just get rid of it, and then you can't even think about it because it's not in your environment. The next thing is meticulously weighing my food. Now, I'm a big believer in measuring cups, measuring spoons, and absolutely a food scale. The food scale has been my savior. You can find one on Amazon for $10 or less, or if you want to be really fancy, so just go on Amazon, have a look. I think you can even buy stuff like that at Target and Walmart. To be honest, they're everywhere. So just getting one. I personally measure in grams. I find it the easiest for me. If you'd rather, measure in ounces, that's fine. Obviously liquid, I measure in milliliter, cups or teaspoons or tablespoons, what have you. But I find that the metric system is what works best for me. And a lot of times that's printed on the food labels. They'll have it in grams, milliliters, ounces, etc. So definitely a good thing to go by. And it keeps you honest. You may think in your mind, oh, grabbing this much cheese, that's probably just a couple of tablespoons. I highly, highly recommend that you weigh it because it's probably close to double what you think. Weighing it is absolutely going to help you reach your goals, gives you a more accurate picture of what you're doing and what you're going to be eating. So definitely invest in a food scale, measuring cups, measuring spoons, what have you, and go from there. And it just becomes a habit. Put them out. Make sure you can see them. My food scale's out on the counter every single day. I have my measuring cups in the drawer right underneath it, my measuring spoons right next to it. Everything is right there and set up for success. If you need to leave the cups and the measuring spoons on your counter, just do it. If you're having a hard time remembering it, leave it out. That's a big part of your environment is seeing it all the time. So highly recommend that. Invest a few dollars in those things and you will not regret it, I promise. The next thing is logging in my food diary before I eat it. I have tried to be very disciplined in this. Obviously, sometimes little things will slip. If you're a pretty regimented person and you eat mostly the same things over and over, you have a pretty good idea. But again, getting up, measuring what it is you're going to have, what you're going to put in it. If you're having a baked potato and you're putting, a sprinkle of cheese, measuring that out, make sure it's within your calorie deficit for the day. And these apps are free, you guys. You don't have to go out and spend any money on anything. I personally use Chronometer, but MyFitnessPal is another very popular one. I'm sure there are many more that I haven't come across yet. So doing a little research and seeing what's right for you. I even had an app a while back. I don't necessarily recommend this, but there's ones where you can take pictures of the food, and I suppose you could log the calories later, and it just has a complete picture of the meal. Or you could just use the camera app on your phone. But honestly, I highly, highly recommend getting into the app, looking at how many calories are in, for instance, a 200-gram potato or a half a cup of rice or one slice of bread or whatever it is you're eating. Just getting in there and getting comfortable, getting used to it. It takes practice. It sounds easy because a lot of these have a built-in scanner. You can go in there and scan your foods and it just populates for you, which is great. But getting in the habit and just getting familiar with it is huge. Next, which kind of goes hand in hand with the walk every day, is moving more. I do have somewhat of a sedentary job. I work in a lab, but probably about 50% of my work is at my desk. I am in management and I manage a few people, so I do have more administrative type tasks. One thing that's really helped me is I'm an avid tea drinker, and we don't have a hot water source or anything like that in the building that I work in. So you got to walk probably about a third of a mile to the building that does have the hot water, and that includes going outside. And where I live, you get snow. It's been a good habit for me to get up. I'm on the 4th floor, so I got to go down 4 sets of stairs outside across campus to this other building, get my tea. And sometimes it's nice to have that mental break too, to just kind of be away. It's almost like working in a cafe for a little bit. So sometimes I'll go over there. I might ask a friend to go and get a coffee or a tea. Change to your environment can be extremely helpful too for productivity and other things. But that small act of getting up and moving like that has been huge for me, and I slacked on it a little bit, and I'm going to incorporate more of that because luckily it seems like spring is on its way. So we haven't had a snow for a while, and hopefully we won't get any. I'm hoping for a while, but it is still winter, so who knows. But just the act of getting up and doing that is extremely helpful. It also gets the chemicals in your brain, the good chemicals, the dopamine and whatnot, moving in your brain. You're not thinking about things that are overwhelming you or whatever, because your brain is moving those chemicals through. So it's extremely important to move as much as you can. The next thing is being more intentional about me. Like I've said before, we definitely need to normalize weight loss as self-care. It's an act of self-care, 100%. Yes, that means being what I think people would coin as being more selfish. You're thinking about yourself, of course. This is a huge journey, and for a lot of people, it is a big deal. It's, you know, some people have probably a significant amount of weight to lose, and it's going to take more than 2 or 3 months or even 6 months to do. Putting yourself forward every single day, starting the day, maybe doing some affirmations or doing a meditation, some sort of self-care for you, get you on the right path, or getting your walk in first thing in the morning. On my weekend days, like today is Sunday, or on my work from home days, I get up and I don't lay there. I don't have a lie-in for hours like some people do, or like maybe I have in the past, like years and years ago. I haven't done that in a long time, but getting up and getting the walk in, because then I can say, yes, it's done. I don't have to think about it. Decision fatigue is a big thing. It is real. Just getting the hard things done. That's always been my philosophy, whether it comes to my work, when it was school, now with this, getting the things that I don't want to think about the entire day and think, oh my God, I got to worry about this walk. Get it done. Get it done. Don't sit and dwell on it. Just get it done. And if you can get it done as soon as you wake up, all the better, because then you'll feel so much better. It's powerful to have that behind you. Just, you don't have to think about it, but you've ticked off one of the biggest boxes for the day, and you can just move on and not think about it for the rest of the day. So remember, guys, the biggest takeaway I have is this: today is your present, right? We live in the present. You always live in today. You're not living in yesterday, because yesterday is gone, it's done. You're not living in tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. You always live in today. That's kind of a mind F, but think about that. You only ever live in today. People who have gone through addictions and have gone to AA and programs like that, they're taught to live in the present. What can you do today? Can you do this for one day? You have to just think of it like that, because if you think of it like, oh my God, I have to do this for a year, this is going to be horrible. Just think of it. What can you do today? Can you make today the best day yet? Can you make sure you get your walk? Can you make sure that you log your calories? Can you make sure that you give yourself some time in the mindset realm? You know, whether that's a meditation, some affirmations. What can you do for you today? And I don't ever want you to think that that's a selfish thing. I realize we have children and husbands and parents and responsibilities and things like that. But all in all, as I've stated before in previous videos, this should only take an hour for the walk and maybe 30 extra minutes out of your day. You have to be able to put 90 minutes or approximately for you into the day. That's not asking for much. There's 24 hours in a day. You got to be able to put that time for you, and that's how you're going to be successful. Changing your mindset, getting a journal, writing these things down. It's great that you can sit here during this video and think about it, but it's so powerful to actually write it down, think about it, reflect on it, look on it every single day. I'm telling you, as somebody who has lost 40 pounds in the last 4 months, this is powerful stuff. This is changing your mindset. It's changing the chemicals in your brain. I'm living proof of it. And I have really never been able to do this before. It's working for me. It's working for tons of other people. So if you want to learn more, remember, you can always follow me here on Instagram, subscribe to my channel here for more content. I'd love to be able to talk to you guys. I'm really easygoing. Please send me a DM. Would love to chat about anything in regards to weight loss and mindset. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.